If you don't know it, that's fine, but please make sure you turn it in before you leave. It's right here next to the lotion and hand sanitizer. You can just put it there. I'm just seeing what you know. Okay? So, and then we're going to start with talking about some things about the class before we move on to talking about our new unit on sine, cosine, and tangent. Maybe. Now, the amazing thing about technology is all the stuff it can do. The bad thing about technology is when it doesn't work. Let's see. Should magically open right now, but it's not. Okay. Cancel. Don't want that to happen. We'll try this again. Okay. All right. It is on. I can always try shutting it down and turning it back on, and we'll see if that helps. Nope, it does not. All right, we'll try this. One more thing. There we go, that was the problem. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is I'm not going to pass around the norms from last semester. They are posted on the board. But I am going to pass around this piece of paper that says first hour at the top. And you're all going to sign it. And it's about the norms that you're going to follow. Okay? So the norms, again, are respect everyone and work together. Everyone participates and stays on task for small groups. Whole groups, this is a whole group setting, the whole class is working. No distractions and stay focused. Be respectful when others are talking. Tell the teacher when to slow down or speed up so we can get through it. So you're going to sign this piece of paper. One of the ways you guys need to show respect and not be distracted is to not have your phones out. That's something I want to make clear. Bathroom passes are for emergencies only. Emergencies do not happen every day or every week. You're expected to use the restroom during passing time. Obviously, if you have an issue, I will let you go, but try to do it beforehand. Food and drink is allowed, but you must clean up after yourselves. This was an issue when I came back from maternity leave. You can eat, I don't care. Clean up after yourself, please. I do not need mice or ants in the classroom, right? Okay. It's yucky. All right. We're going to start right here with our classwork. So if you guys could get your classwork in front of you. I'm going to pause for just a second. Does anybody have questions about the norms or that they're supposed to sign that sheet as it's being passed around? Everybody's pre-test is in. Okay, everybody has a pen or a pencil. If you don't, make sure you get one. We try to get them before class, right? But if you need one, get one now. You are going to need your calculator for this, so make sure it's next to you. Okay. So we started on this a little bit. Do you guys remember where you had to like draw in your triangle and divide different sides and all of that? No. You know, where you had to make the charts for everything, and I counted up 5 charts, the right triangle discovery thing. Yep. Some of you do at least? Okay. So this is kind of going by that, but we're using the shortcut that we discovered through that activity, okay? Which it doesn't matter what the lengths are, the ratios are going to be the same so we can find the sides. So this first one is just an example. It's already done for you. But I'm going to go through how I found this. So the first thing you want to do is circle your angle. I'm looking at angle 48. Okay? Y is the opposite. X is the adjacent. And 5 is the hypotenuse. Okay? How did I know where the hypotenuse is? Anybody want to answer that? How did I know where the hypotenuse was in a strand? Say it again.
The longest one.
It is the longest one. Another way to find it if you're not sure is it's across from what, guys?
The adjacent.
Across from 90 degrees. Okay? It's across from 90 degrees, so that has to be my hypotenuse. Always. Okay? Now, adjacent is next to. It's next to the angle. It's connected in some way. Opposite is across from. Okay? An example is like Hank is adjacent to Olivia, and he's opposite Monica. Okay? Just to think about that. So we remember cosine is our adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay? So we don't know what it is. It's our adjacent. I'm just going to look at this first column. We have our adjacent, which is x, over our hypotenuse, which is 5. Then this is where we want to make sure we know how to use our calculator. So if you guys could pull your calculators out right next to it, we're going to go through this. We're going to open up a calculator page. And does anybody remember where you find cosine? The trig, the little trig button next to number 7. Good. And I'm going to go over to cosine. And I'm going to hit 48. Now, it gives me this really long number, right? If you get a different number than me, yours might be in radians, first degrees, and we can work on fixing that. Okay? But I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'm usually just going to use the first 4 numbers after the decimal point. Okay? And I should end up with this right here. 0.6691 equals x over 5. So guys, how do I get rid of that 5 in the bottom of the x? Multiply. It's being divided, so I'm going to multiply. I multiply both sides by 5, and I end up with... What, Michael? Are we confused? So I'm taking 0.06691, timesing it by 5. 0.6691 times it by 5, and I get 3.34. And I just truncated it. You could have rounded up. It could have been 3.35. It would have been fine. Okay? And that's the answer. That's the side x. The length of x is 3.34 centimeters. I multiplied. First I put the cosine of 48 in my calculator, and then I just times it by 5. That was it, the whole thing.
That's how you got like the face now?
Yeah. It should be. It should be just remembering the sides, adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse, remembering which ones goes with which, and then plugging it into your calculator. Okay, let's look at sine. Sine shouldn't be any different except which trig number we pushed. Okay, so we should push the trig. We should go to sine 48. And then we're going to times that one by 5 as well, because the hypotenuse is still 5. And you should get 3.71. So far, so good?
How do you find out which number you times it by?
See how it's on the bottom of the y, Kyle?
Yeah, but how do you get that number in the first place where it doesn't tell you?
How do you get 0.7431, that one?
No, like
Where did the 5 come from?
on the second question, you don't get the.
Yeah, I'm going to show you that in a second. So Kyle's ready to move on. Do you guys want me to go over the rest of these, or you want to move on?
Can you please go over those?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, so we kind of did sine together, where again I plugged in sine of 48, and this is what I got. And then I multiplied both sides by 5, and I got my answer. Tan is a little bit different just because it's a different number, right? Do we remember sine means adjacent, cosine means adjacent over hypotenuse. Sine means opposite over hypotenuse. Anybody remember what tan means? Opposite over adjacent is perfect. Do you guys remember the little weird acronym to remember sine, cosine, and tangent? Where it goes? Do you guys remember SOHCAHTOA? SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. SOHCAHTOA. I didn't. It was like, do you remember it from past classes? Because some of the algebra teachers talked about this.
What does it mean again?
SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent is opposite over adjacent. And I could put this on the whiteboard so we like start remembering it before we take the quiz and stuff. And we can talk about it each day. Okay? Tangent, I'm going to plug in my calculator. I got these numbers. I got the y, because y is the opposite. I got 3.34 from where? Who knows?
The adjacent.
The adjacent is x here, so where did that come from? Did it come from here?
Yes.
Yeah. I stole it right from there. Could I have had y in there too? Yes, but I was just showing you how to do it in case you didn't have one of them. So I put tan of 48 in, cross multiply, and I get 3.71. Okay. Yes?
So it doesn't matter what like number you put on the bottom.
For tangent, it does matter that it's the adjacent. I could have put a x at the bottom, and on top I could have put 3.71 because that's the opposite.
Oh.
Is that better, Audrey?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now I'm kind of scaffolding it. I did one where it totally was for you and kind of explained it. Now this one, I started it out. Okay? And I want you guys to try this on your own. And then the next one, we're going to really concentrate on opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. So I want to pause for a minute and have you guys try these 3 problems while I walk around and help. Okay? It's really knowing how to put it in your calculator and how you're supposed to multiply by the bottom. Yes. I would use I would just at least at first, Aubrey. Once we get better at it, we I'll be right there, guys. Miss Murphy speaking. Good. Yeah. Done. It's not done yet. Yep. Okay. No, it's problem. He told me he was going to finish it today with Miss York. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm coming to you. Hold on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go over the answers now. So the first thing we do is put it in our calculator. And we should have gotten 0.4226 equals y over 4. We times both sides by 4, and we should get y equals 1.69 centimeters. For cosine, we put cosine in our calculator, cosine of 25, and we should have gotten 0.9063 equals x over 4. Multiply both sides by 4, and we should have gotten x is approximately 3.63 centimeters. And then tan gets a little funky because we already know both the sides, but we're going to pretend like we don't know x, so we're going to change x as 3.63. Please don't talk while I'm talking, guys. And then I'm going to put that in my calculator. Tan of 25 is 0.4663 equals y over 3.63. And then we're going to times this by 3.63, and we're going to get that the tangent is approximately, I got a weird answer. Let me just check. Tan of 25, multiply that by 363. Yeah, I get 1.69 again. That's weird. Okay. Yes. These are a little bit of weird problems because you already know the other sides. So you wouldn't get a problem quite like this where you have to replace one of these with that. So I know the tan part is weird. I'm going to do some other ones that it's going to make more sense. Yes, Robert.
So you have the 0.4663.
Yeah.
That's when you type in tangent 25 million.
When I
Where did you
I
get
did
that
tan
number?
25 to get this. Okay. This is going to be, number 2 is the start of problems that you'll get on your homework and more likely the problems you're going to see. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circle my degree. Then I'm going to label my 2 sides. Do you see how this side right over here has nothing by it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to really worry about labeling if there's nothing there. Okay? What is x to 43? Is that opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse? Look at 43. There you go. It's across from that. So what is 10 to 43? Okay. Which one, sine, cosine, or tangent, uses opposite and adjacent? Sine uses opposite and hypotenuse. Tangent. Okay. So we're going to say tangent, and we always put the degree equals the opposite over the adjacent. Okay, so I'm going to fill this in now with numbers. So I've got tan, the degree is 43, right? Equals the opposite, which is x, over the adjacent, which is 10. So far, so good? Okay, I'm going to show you one way where you only have to put something in the calculator once. You do not have to do it this way. You could do it like we've done in the past, and I'll go back and forth and do both ways for you, okay? I like to put as little in my calculator at once as possible because I feel like that's when I make mistakes, when I push something in the calculator. Do you see? X is being divided by 10, right? So what's the opposite of division? Multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 10. And then I'm going to put 10 tan 43 equals x, and I'm going to put it in my calculator all at once. 10 tan 43. And I'm going to get 9.33 approximately centimeters. And then tan 43. And then I hit enter, yeah? I did round. I like to use 2 decimal places for my answers usually because that makes the most sense to me. And so I looked at, it was 9.325, so I made it 9.33. All right, we ready for the back? Okay. What do you think? We should try one more together and then you do the rest on your own?
Sure.
And then we'll check them right before you guys leave so you can do your homework?
Yep.
Okay. That's 48 degrees. So what is x to 48 degrees? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse?
Adjacent.
Adjacent, good. What is 7 to 48?
Opposite.
Look at it again.
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse. All right, which one? I like to write SOHCAHTOA at the top so I don't have to keep turning my paper over in case I don't remember. Which one uses adjacent and hypotenuse? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Cosine. So I'm going to say, remember, cosine my angle equals the adjacent over hypotenuse. Now I'm going to replace that with numbers. Cosine of 48 equals x over 7. Now, I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Do you want me to do it where we only put it in the calculator once, or do you want it in parts?
One.
Who wants it all at once? Anybody want it in parts? Most of you want it all at once. The rest of you don't care. Okay, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. These cancel. I'm going to get 7 cosine 48 equals x. So x equals, I'm going to put it in my calculator, 7 cosine 48. I get 4.68 centimeters. You guys feeling pretty good about this?
Yeah. How do you figure out like to use cosine, sine, or tangent?
See how this is an A and an H? I go up here to my SOHCAHTOA, and I'm like, this is sine, that's an O and an H. This is cosine, that's an A and an H. So that's the one that we use. Okay? That's why we label it on our triangle first. All right, guys. Yes, Kat.
The opposite, like it doesn't have a number or anything.
So I don't worry about it, because that's not what it's asking. Because it's asking me to find the unknown side length, and it doesn't have that one listed, so I'm not worried about it.
You only find like the x and y.
Only find the X or Y or whatever the letter is.
Couldn't you technically without it just like hiding like 7, just put 7 cosine 48?
Yeah, you don't, yeah. If you want to push even less buttons in your calculator, totally. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording, but I will go over the answers with you guys before the end of the hour, and then you'll do your homework on your own. If you finish this before I go over it, you can go ahead and start your homework if you like. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me stop the recording.
Hi.